Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner and psychic for over 35 years. I typically read tarot cards and do psychic predictions on my channel, but I have an amazing, special, fun thing for you guys. I want to introduce my good friend, Drusilla. She is another content creator with a growing channel, Drusilla's Macabre Manor. And I really want everybody to go over and take a look at some of her work. She is an amazing spooky historian, researcher. And if you like mine and Greg's Super Nat Saturdays, you are going to love what she does over there. So I'm going to bring up Drusilla right now so you guys can meet her. She's amazing. And here she is. Drusilla, welcome. I'm so glad that we finally carved out some time to do this. I really have been meaning to do it for some time. It's the spooky season. You and I are both really busy over the spooky season. But tell everybody a little bit about what you do on your channel, what your channel is all about.
So I'm making content of everything paranormal. Just ghost stories to haunted history, aliens, like anything unexplained. That's what I'm going to be talking about. And also, a few months ago, I got my ghost hunting kit. So I plan on going out ghost hunting. I just did my first little experiment in here because my candles keep on going on by themselves.
Well, you and I both know that spirits can affect electrical circuits and circuitry. So TVs that are going on and off. We all got scared with poltergeist back in the mid 80s. But that is a really easy way for spirits to communicate with us with lights. What were your findings? What'd you come up with?
I'm still reviewing the video because we went for paint night at my cousin's house and I left the camera running all night and I didn't
Oh,
check it till the following morning.
that's a lot of footage.
So I found like thumping, knocking, and I did catch the candles turning on by themselves too.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Well, I am going to scroll your channel across the bottom. Those of you that are coming in just a couple minutes late, or if you missed the beginning, this is Drusilla. She has Drusilla's Macabre Manor on YouTube. You can go follow her. You're on TikTok as well, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. Do you do Instagram as well?
I do have Instagram. I need to
All under
post
the same name.
more on both of them.
Okay. No, that's okay. Listen, hey, it's a lot of work to be a content creator, but I've had a few friends who've said, hey, I want to get into what you do. And when I start to show them exactly what I do, they go, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work.
Yes.
So, it can get really fun, but spooky stuff right up your alley.
Yes.
Let's talk about mirrors. I personally have a real affinity for antique mirrors. And when people find that out about me, they go, aren't you scared? And I love an antique compact. My mother, I was telling you before we came on, before we started recording, my mom has, I believe it's my great grandmother's mirror. And it is one of those gorgeous, it's not a big mirror, it's only about yay big, but it's heavy as all get out. It's got all the crackling in it, who knows how old it is, but I want that mirror. I don't care what souls are trapped in it. I want that mirror. It wants to come live with me. So I work on that. But what do you know about mirrors? You told me a really interesting story about mirrors before we started.
So I grew up in Nueces. It's one of the most ancient forms of Christianity. So with Nueces, I grew up meditating, believing in the supernatural, aliens, and all that stuff. So I think that's where my whole thing with the supernatural began. But we used to meditate a lot, and one of the things they used to have us do is, like, in the dark, you could light a candle just staring into the mirror, and basically everything is supposed to just go dark, to just where you just see yourself standing in front of the mirror, and you could possibly see what kind of basically soul you have. And to me, it was always kind of freaky, so I never really practiced that because I was just too afraid of what might pop out on the mirror, what I might see on the other side. But my mom, she's kind of really afraid of mirrors because, the belief of, spirits come across from from the other side. So she keeps her mirror covered at night.
Yeah. Like we have the stories like Through the Looking Glass, Lewis Carroll. Like Through the Looking Glass, there's another world in there. It is, the bizarro world, if you will. It's the opposite of everything here. We could see I love mirror magic. Like I know you're into like, makeup and judging yourself and getting fancy. But mirror magic is one of the cool practices that I do where you actually, as you're doing your makeup, you're like transforming the shape of your face and you're transforming like how people are going to perceive you. That is a cool manifestation. And I just want to let everybody know, Drusilla and I are just going to whet your appetite today. We're going to talk a little bit about this, but we're going to do a live together. And we're going to have some more information and some more fun. And we're going to be doing a subscriber drive for Drusilla on that day. So you can jump in and out of that live. We're going to be on for a little while and jump in and out and go over, give her a sub, come on back. If you're already subbed to her after this video, then you can just hang out and chill out and ride. So, there's a lot of legends with mirrors. That I think the scariest one, and the story that you just told, the practice about your religion, we do see that in a lot of movies. There's a movie, Night of the Demons. It's a horror movie from I think the late 80s, early 90s, and they do a similar thing where they're talking with the candle in front of the mirror, and everything goes black. So everybody's so freaked out about doing like mirror magic, those kinds of things. The legends I think make us more scared. Now you just referenced that your mom covers the mirrors at night. Victorians and in the practice of Judaism, when people die, they cover the mirrors so they don't get stuck in there. It's a no. They want to cover it up so you don't get stuck in there. I'm perfectly fine getting stuck in that antique mirror at my mother's house. I'm totally fine with that. I'll be waving at people. There's also a mirror in the Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles that was in Marilyn Monroe's room that she regularly had. And people, when the mirror was still in her room, said that they would see her looking at them in there. So, there's a lot of myth and lore and legend that goes around mirrors. Have you ever scryed? Do you do scrying at all? Like crystal ball gazing, mirror gazing?
No, I want
Yeah,
to learn.
but well, I have tried very, very hard to scry and to kind of get into it, but I'm so ADHD that like it's really hard for me to just kind of get into that chill, mellow place. Like I have to have like, ears on and a heavy blanket on. I put a weighted blanket on when I'm meditating. Like I do all these things, like all these practices. But scrying in mirrors, even if it is a water put into a bowl where you have that mirrored surface, a lot of people do find that as a really relaxing and effective way of divination. And basically, what they do is the same thing. They stare at the surface until it goes black or misty, and then their mind takes them into another place, another world they're transported into, if you will. So do you think it's more psychological or paranormal? Do you think people are like more like kind of in their head about it, or if there is something paranormal to it?
I think there is something paranormal to it.
I think so too. I think more so too with the old-fashioned mirrors that actually have the silvering process, and the I love the concave glass or convex glass. I think that there's something to that. I also think old portraits because they have some of the silvering in there in that process as well. So, so let's agree that mirrors can absorb some of us, and suck these souls right into them, into that other world. They're portals into another area. In feng shui, you're not supposed to have mirrors facing each other. That was one thing I remember, because we have a ton of mirrors in this house. Obviously, I love mirrors. But you're not supposed to have them like facing each other, and you're also supposed to only have them on certain directionals. And there's some rules with mirrors that I break all day long. I don't really do feng shui. I find it very complicated, but I kind of go as how I feel. But I think that they are portals that we can go in and out. And I think I'm gonna do some fun practices with that moving forward. So, so now let's talk about Bloody Mary a little bit.
Oh, yes, that's a big one.
So, what do you know of Bloody Mary? What's been your experience? How many times have you done that?
You know what? I'm too much of a chicken to even try it. I went to Catholic private schools my whole life, and I think that was, you would think that going to a private school, people wouldn't do that, but yeah, we do. There's a lot of stuff that, yeah, the whole thing with the Bloody Mary, the mirror. I think that's where one of my fears of the whole Bloody Mary came, because, like, what if she pops out through the mirror when I'm
Comes
standing
out
there
through the
at night
drain.
in the dark washing my hands?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that you said like you're Catholic, and the first Ouija board I ever saw was presented to me by two very very Catholic girls that both went to Catholic school. I was like, oh,
Oh,
that's a
they
bit
used to
odd.
do their own Ouija boards on, like, paper, just drawing them
Yeah.
and using them during recess.
Oh, bananas. Yeah, I'm not down with the Ouija boards, but that's another show. So now I know you have ghost hunting equipment. We have very limited ghost hunting equipment in our house. We got the light up cat balls, but the cats are playing with them now. I hate to say it, like the cats think they're really fun. And I walk in the living room and like they're batting them around. So, no ghosts, just my crazy cats. But have you tried your EVPs or anything like that around mirrors? Have you ever given that a shot? No. I think that's something that I'm going to talk to some of our friends about. We have friends that are paranormal investigators at New Jersey Paranormal, Sandy and JT, and we have gone on a couple of investigations with them. They're a great couple. They're really funny too. Like, it's just a riot. The one investigation we went, Greg wore the jumpsuit for Ghostbusters. And they were like, "Are you kidding?" Yeah, he like rolled in. They were like, "Are you kidding?" But some mirrors do have some EVP action on them. They do have some electrical impulses. Now, again, is that in the construction? Is that in the silvering of the glass? Is that in just the energy that's put into it? I'm a strong believer in antique objects that have been handled a bunch of times. They have a lot of people's imprint on them. So maybe that's what we're seeing in that. But I think we agree that it's a little portal. So what do you think about how antiques hold energy from their former owners?
Believe it.
Yeah,
I
it's
have three antiques in this room. I have the typewriter. Then I have my grandfather's Bunsen burner. That's from the 1940s. That one there. And then I have my great grandma's iron. So I'm thinking, what if it's not just it's not just a typewriter? What if it's, the family heirlooms I already had?
Yeah,
Because
you're
now I gave them a special place.
party room. You gave him a party room. But I tell everybody, like, the students that I teach, the students that are becoming psychics or becoming mediums, I tell them, because every now and then one of them goes like, what if freaky things start happening? And I'm like, if freaky things start happening, you call a network, you let them know, and they'll set up a bunch of cameras, they'll give you a check for $1 million, and everything's going to be fine. You'll go on vacation while they do their investigation. And then, if cameras are running, they typically don't do anything. So, we're all good. I do love psychometry. I'll go into antique shops and I'll handle different things. Jewelry is one of my favorite, because the gemstones in jewelry will hold energy, just like any of the crystals that we have, any of the crystals I have on my table. And I think that there is a correlation with the glass that's in mirrors and that sort of thing. I think it winds up holding on to some energy from the people that have been around it, the people that have made it, and the people that have passed through it. So just to give everybody some takeaways here, cleansing rituals, you can use salt water, you can use moonlight, you can put your mirrors out in moonlight. You can also use smoke. You can hang a rosary on it, any of those things. What are your practices for cleansing an object when you're just trying to kind of get it back to zero and make it yours?
The full moon.
The full moon. Yeah. So some people love the full moon. Some people use the sun. I know there are some, like, they'll leave their tarot cards out in the sun for purification. The sun purifies. The moon, if it's a full moon, it is a completion. It kind of wipes out everything that's there. If you want to infuse it with some energy, you would start at the new moon, which today I believe is the new moon. So here's a really tough question as we're starting to kind of wrap up this session. If you, and this is, if you don't have an answer, it's okay. If you discovered that there was a spirit trapped in the mirror, how do you think we release them?
I have no idea.
That's something I think I'm going to look up for our live, because I'm not sure, if you have to break the mirror to release the trapped spirit, or if maybe knocking on it is sufficient, or maybe smudging it with some smoke. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. So, practices just for cleaning objects. Say you go and you buy a hand mirror, or you buy an antique chair, any of the things that we said, the sun, the moon. You can spray a little salt water. I know lemon oil, if it's a wooden object, some people say that lemon oil is very cleansing for it, or orange oil if you want to put a little bit more flair to it. Smoking is always good with a little bit of incense. You just kind of let that smoke take the energy out of it. I'm one of those people, I like to clean first and then kind of infuse. And so I'll do like a regular nag champa or a sage to burn, or even a bay leaf. You can burn those bay leaves as well, those dried bay leaves. And then I go back in with like a dragon's blood incense, or something that's a little more in tune with me. I've gotten really into frankincense lately. I feel like frankincense is a very cleansing. It kind of lifts everything up. Again, from the Catholic tradition, I love going to Catholic mass and services, because I love the smell of that frankincense. I just love it. Every time I come away, one of my cousins, her son was just did his first Holy Communion, and I was like, I gotta buy some frankincense when we got out. I was like, I gotta get some. So that's like a little bit of practical housekeeping.
And there's also Palo Santo.
Oh, Palo Santo. Yes, I
Yes.
love the smell of that. But it always, do you use that a lot?
I have the incense.
So the actual wood you can burn, and you kind of like waft it, but I get so nervous because I never feel like it's out all the way. I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like it's still like burning. I'm like, I gotta put that outside. So I feel like every time I get a piece of Palo Santo, I burn like 2 seconds of it, and then like I get rid of it. Like I wet it down and like get rid of it because I'm afraid it's gonna like burn the house down. But I love the smell of the Palo Santo. The Florida water is another one. A lot of people like Florida water. That's one of my girlfriends. She loves her Florida water, and she actually makes her own concoctions with Florida water. She adds some other things to it. So pretty neat. So now I do have another little takeaway. Um, and this is like a beginner scrying practice for everyone. So you can get yourself just a little mirror. This is just a regular little compact. And you can gaze softly at it for just a couple of minutes. Let your eyes drift. It doesn't have to be facing you. So, like right now, I don't see anything in the mirror, I just see the ceiling. And so you can just gaze into that mirror, take your nice slow breaths, breathe in all the way, hold it for a count of 3, relax and let it out. And then when you think all the breath is out, tighten your stomach muscles and push it out just a little bit further. And then repeat that process like 3 times and just stare into this mirror and let your body calm down and explore what emotions come up in you. So if you have a question, should I go to the hairdresser tomorrow and cut all my hair off? Should I take that driving test on Saturday or Sunday? Should I apply for the job that I saw? You can see what emotions start to come up. Emotions are a first step for us to start exploring our psychic ability. Emotions, are what sense us, give us the sense of danger, those kinds of things. That's all wrapped up in intuition. So I think when we start to ask questions like this, itty bitty questions, and look in a little hand mirror, we're not so worried about like this one I can close up. I'm not worried about anybody coming out of it. But this is a Louise Hay, and it says, life loves you on, oh, you can't see it. Life loves you. There you go. And then it's got her signature on the back. Lovely little thing that I got with one of my Hay House kits. But that's a way you can kind of start to warm up to some mirror work and warm up to maybe, the people that are in there. Perhaps if you have an antique mirror and you're staring into that, the young lady or old lady that had it once upon a time may start to infuse you with images or emotions, and you may start to turn on some of those sensations. So you and I will both give it a shot, and we'll have some stories between now and the live that we're going to do next week. We decided we are going to do a live on November 2nd. So it's a Sunday, guys. So it'll be a nice, like brunchy, fun kind of, grab a delicious calorie bomb coffee and sit down with us, and we'll talk about some spooky stuff, spooky Sunday. We were going to try and get it on All Saints Day. However, I unfortunately have a competition with Angus. So I am not going to be available for that day for a live. And I don't want you guys to wait until the middle of the night when we get home. But anything that you want to add, Drusilla, before we wrap it up and let everybody get excited about seeing us in a few days?
I've seen a creator I follow. He uses black onyx, I think.
Yes.
To scribe.
Yes. Fun stuff. I once upon a time had a great deal of black onyx, and I know it's in a box somewhere in my mother's house. Like, we'll find it one day. It's, oh, hey, here's all those crystals. But black onyx is something, one of the choice things. Greg got me this, and it is a photography sphere. So you can like take like photographers use them because the crystal ball that size was outrageously expensive. It was like $300, you know. And he was like, "Well, why don't we get you just this one? Like you could use that, couldn't you?" And I go, "Yeah, I suppose I could." So I do try to scry every now and then. I try to scry. I aspire to scry, but I'm just too hyperactive to do it, I think. But
I
never
really
say
want to learn, and I wanted to get myself a sphere, but they're so expensive. So I got
yes.
myself this little one, tiger's eye.
I will tell you this, go if you ever have any minerals and rock shows, go to those and you'll be able to find a bigger one, less expensive because they have all of their goods on display. So I went to a rock show and I was so bummed I didn't bring more money with me because I was like, I really would like to get some of these amazing crystals, but cannot. I gave myself a budget and I was just out of reach, but nonetheless. So guys, we are going to be talking about Aztec mirrors. We're going to be talking more about black onyx. We're going to be talking more about the Victorian practices, the Judaism practices, and other fun stuff with mirrors. We're going to get some mirror lore going here. And I hope that you're going to join us. Like I said, Drusilla, you're on this side. She's a good friend of mine. The reason we're doing this, more people should be subscribed to her. She has great content, great research. If you like spooky stuff, you're going to love her channel. So go on over there, give her a sub, and you'll see me in the chats. I'll be in the chats, but we're going to be here on November 2nd. And we're going to have a great time live. So bring your questions. If you have questions about mirror stories, try out your own little experiment with your mirrors at home and see what emotions come up, and let us know in the chat what happened. We may even bring people up if they want to come up and talk. We could even bring people up. So it should be a super fun time, Drusilla. So remember, her channel is pinned in the comments and you can see the name of it streaming down below on our banner. But Drusilla, thank you so much for doing this. We need to spend more time together, and this is a sneaky way of me doing it. All right, everybody, we are gonna check out, not in the spooky jumping through a mirror kind of way, but we're gonna check out of the video right now. So we will see you November 2nd, time to be determined. But we'll be putting it up on both of our channels, and we're super, super excited about that. So we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.
Yeah.